Hi Aquarius, welcome to the harsh truth. I don't want to say a month or a year, so hopefully when you stumble upon this, it fits. I shuffle off camera, except for what I'm doing now because it catches on the cloth and it messes with the mic. This is a general reading and it will get specific after I clarify a few cards. I'm going to try and keep it under 10 minutes because I know I get wordy. If it doesn't, if it starts off resonating and then doesn't, or I lose you, that's fine. It happens. Just check another channel that I have in the featured channel section. I don't think anybody does this spread yet, but there's other readings out there. Or you can check your moon, rising, and Venus sign of this reading also, if that would help. Credit for this spread is, hang on, I want to get it right. Let me see what it is here again. It is the fairygodmotherfortunes.wordpress.com. And this is her top 10 relationship card spreads, and I really like it. It's also over at the Eclectic Forums. So I linked below the two places where I found it. This is taking a look at what the harsh truth would be for, it's intended for your love life, but for some of you, you might find that it's just, it applies to another area, okay? So I think I said everything. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, look at that. I'm just going to squeeze that under there. Okay. The Knight of Swords. All right. That's the mutual energy between you and another person. And this could be somebody that's very right in the mix of things. They're very action-oriented, very communicative and opinionated, and has strong convictions and doesn't mind leading the way, trailblazer, that type of personality. They might be young. This just might be the energy, man or woman. And this is the energy between you and another person. So you might be thinking that they're this way, or this might be the dynamic of your partnership, to where you guys are just trailblazers and you're in the mix and you're really socially active and activists and that sort of thing. Or there might be some fighting. There might be a lot of bickering or arguing and that sort of thing. Having to constantly feel like you need to defend yourself and whatnot. Let me spread this out because I might have room to clarify there. Okay, so, well, we've got the younger cousin of this, or the younger brother or sister. All right, so what you want to be true is that they're not all talk and no action. You want that to be true. What you don't want to be true, is that they are. You don't want them to be controlling. You want them to be more free-spirited and actually deliver on promises. You don't want them to be, this could be Aries or Taurus. You don't want them to have this sort of like, you know, they have the last word, that it's all about control. But what is true is that this could be no second chance. This could be a lot of self-doubt, a lot of self-discipline, a lack of self-discipline, a lot of self-doubt, lack of confidence, also not knowing what your purpose or your calling is, and it could also be refusing to look at yourself. So refusing to see things for what they are, okay? So we're going to clarify a few things there. What you want to happen is an end to the stalemate, an end to the confusion, an end to the indecision. What you don't want to happen, you don't want to get your heart broke. You don't want to get your heart broken. And there's going to be fighting. There's going to be more fighting. This more, which, you know, is good. I mean, healthy competition, perseverance, a test of faith, so to speak. Okay, that just fell out. I'm just going to put that there just because. So what will happen is there will be this end to a stalemate, because you're gonna get it out in the open. You want to talk about this. You don't want this to be true. It's almost like you'd rather be working with somebody and the same opinions they have, so you can be sort of trailblazing, or at least united together. You don't mind the cerebral activity, but you don't want to be at odds with this person, and you certainly don't want to be with somebody that's very controlling or isn't willing to look at their faults in the relationship. So let's take a look at this. All right. Yeah, you don't want to be cut off from them. You don't want it to be over. You don't want this disruption. You don't want to be cut off. You don't want to feel like you're thrown under the bus. You don't want that. What you want to be true is that it's not what it seems. Like you want an end to the fighting. You want an end to being cut off. You want an end to this disruption and there might be an element of a karmic connection here, like, because this is about innocence, childhood, past life connections, soulmate. So, and this Emperor is somebody that has the last word, that they're trusted, solid. They represent the solid structures in society as well as trusted authority figures. They also represent control and authority. So you don't want that to have power. You don't want this. It's for the Aquarians that I'm reading for. It feels like you don't want that to have any bearing on this relationship, in the sense that that's the only reason that you're staying with the person, is because of the test of time, and it's the right thing to do, and this person is just kind of rigid that way, or the relationship is kind of rigid that way, and you're only together because you've been with each other for quite some time, okay? Or this sort of karmic connection. Also, you don't want it to be where someone is just kind of standing back waiting for the next move. You don't want, it's funny that these are where they're at, but you don't want someone to just be kind of non-participatory, let's just put it that way, in the relationship. And that you're only together because it's the right thing to do, and because of this karmic connection, or you've been together for so long, okay? What you want to happen in this relationship is you want there to be an end to the indecision. You'd rather this sort of, you know, you want everything to get aired out and have this conflict discussion. You want to get it out in the open. You want to not fight with them, but you want to have productive arguing, if there is such a thing, and there is. And you don't want to have to worry about this security right here. You don't want to have it. You don't want it to be what you fight about, what you argue about, what you're doing with this person. You don't want it to be about security and just being with them because you're supposed to be, or because it's been so long, and it's the right thing to do, and they feel obligated to you, or you feel obligated to them. You don't want it to be about that. You don't want to get your heart broken, poor thing. Maybe you feel like you are, because this is isolation, and this is echoing anxiety, or just being like, okay, what do I do now? What do I do now? What do I... You don't want them to not want you. You don't want them to be with you just because. And this is isolation without purpose. This is withdrawing because you're waylaid because of this heart attack, because somebody might be stepping out on the relationship. You don't want that to happen. Okay, so we've got Leo and Pisces here. All right, so this, what is true about the relationship is it needs to be looked at. This feels like a relationship that's been around for a while, and it needs to be examined. Who is responsible for what? It seems like things have gotten stale, and that there's not really anybody that's in charge or has any responsibility in the relationship. Like the roles are not defined, and it's almost like you're each living separate lives, or you're just, you have the perfunctory appearance of a functioning relationship, but it's not like things are really defined, and somebody is probably not taking a look at their culpability in the situation. This is a solid relationship, but that's only by appearances. It feels like on the inside there needs to be there needs to be an examining of who is doing what in the relationship, and why, and what our rules are. Like, it's almost like you've been together for a while, and you need to come back and talk about, okay, what do we want to do from here forward? Like, let's get back to us. You know what I mean? You don't want there's a lot of indecision and unhappiness and confusion, and there could be the releasing of that, and you guys grow strong as a couple, which is awesome. But this taking a look at what is going on between you has to happen, because it's gotten stale. There's all this worry about, you know, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to be thrown under the bus. I don't want to break up. But if we're just staying together because we've been together for so long, or because there's a soulmate issue, we need to talk about that, and we need to revive this. We need to get our stuff out in the open, and not be about having just, okay, well, you know, we're a good fit, we're a good match, and we work well together. Yeah, but what about the passion, you know? And I don't want to be heartbroken. I want you to cheat on me. If you don't want to be with me, go be with somebody else, but talk to me about what you want. You know what I mean? And this right here is, yeah, you're going to have that conversation. There's going to be an end to that indecision. It probably will be, if it's not a committed relationship, if it's not like a marriage, it's going to be on hold for a while. You might be talking, some of you might be talking about ending the relationship because you might have thought that it's run its course, okay? Others of you are going to decide to stick it out, but that marriage or that commitment is going to be off the table for now because you've got a few things to work out, okay? So, you know, depending on what situation it resonates with you, obviously, but there is going to be that dialogue and an end to the confusion and the indecision. You are going to be getting clear answers and have that heart-to-heart. These are the mystical wisdom cards. I can't remember if I linked that down below. Take a leap of faith. To me, that means you start the dialogue here, because it seems like this, maybe they won't. It might be up to you to have that conversation, be like, what are we doing? What do we really want? And you take that leap of faith and go, okay, let's get all our cards out on the table. What are you doing? What am I doing? What do we want? And that's what this is too, is that clear communication and figuring out what you both want to do, either together or apart, or maybe redefining the relationship. Okay, so Aquarius, that is what I have for you. That's the harsh truth. I hope it was helpful. I'm still fleshing out the reading, but there's a lot of good stuff here. Do take care, and I hope to see you at the next reading. Thank you so much for stopping by. Take care.